All right, welcome back to Championship Series 2023. We've got another match here, the fourth of the day. It's KDCM 17 Q Dodgers versus Mech Enjoyers. This is a losers bracket match, so one team advances, one team goes home, and team that wins this is going to go on to face the 5th Jaguar Dragoons, who played earlier today and were pushed down into the losers bracket. Joining me on this cast, I'm Therax. I don't know if I mentioned that. I've got Krasnopaski and Bacon Lord here with me right now. So just kind of gonna do a little bit of talk here pre-game, figure out what we're doing. So getting the team set, it's gonna be a short delay likely, and we're also a little bit early. So Bacon Lord, let's talk about mechs and builds. I've seen a number of different builds already. I'm just wondering, if anything stands out to you as a shift in the meta, perhaps at this point in the tournament. We're seeing the Hypersalt Gauss used a fair bit. Binary lasers saw a lot of play today, and there's also some builds that are a little bit non-standard, perhaps with Crusader with ER large lasers, for instance.
I mean, that Crusader has existed and been used before. I don't think it's anything special. It's just very dependent on what map or your playstyle. As far as builds, mechs, the Hags and the Binaries have added new playstyles to already strong existing mechs. Such mechs would be like Stalker, Marauder, Direwolf, Mad Cat, Blood Asp. Those sort of mechs can run that. And they were strong before, and they're still strong. I can't really say I've seen new mechs per se. Like, it's still kind of like the same things.
Yeah.
The only thing that's been kind of new in CS23 is we've seen the Ebon Dragoon get more play, which is the Mistlinks.
Yes, very much.
It's got a bit more burst DPS with the SRMs.
So talking specifically about
sustained.
the Mistlinks, we're seeing okay, so everybody's familiar with the machine gun build. There's a couple different variants on it with standard machine guns, heavy machine guns. You take heavy mediums or ER micros, right? But we're seeing a lot of SRM Mistlinks so far in this tournament. Any thoughts as to which one is better, or if they have a different use case, and that's maybe what's determining?
Well, they just very clearly have different uses. So, I mean, your machine gun one's got high sustained damage, and it's going to be able to crit out weapons and whatnot. The bracket build, which is the heavy mediums and the mixed machine guns, is good for kind of skirmishing and then kind of going in at the end and closing out kills. And then your SRM one's kind of more bursty.
So
more bursty, but it's
okay,
hot.
well, look, we're about to start the map banning.
All right. I guess another thing I'm going to bring up is the Battlemaster. Two different teams were fielding a Battlemaster in the same match earlier today, and the one brought 6 ER largers, a known build. The other brought a pair of binary lasers and ER meads, more of a mid-range vomit build. Is that something that we should be expecting to see more frequently moving on in here, or is that just an outlier?
When I think of Battlemaster, I think of like extreme range. It has kind of bad hitboxes, and they like the biggest head hitbox in the game. I think it's really easy to headshot that mech. So I don't know. It's not something that I think I'd bring in any of these maps per se.
Okay.
Yeah, here's a good question. Who bans first? Giggity doesn't know.
So I believe it's all handled on the back end. It should be KDCM doing the first map
the
select.
Top seed should be first.
Yeah.
Philtherix, can you activate your Discord stream, please?
Oh, yeah, Discord stream. I popped that up, right? My apologies.
Can you put that up?
Thank you, sir. So what's the map ban look like? Has anybody clicked yet?
So far, Nobody's picked a map yet, selected a map yet.
So with KDCM picking first, it seems like most teams prefer to pick Vichik first because it's more side neutral.
All right.
And it's a safe.
First
Yeah,
map
there we
just
go.
came in, Crimson Strait.
KDCM picked
Interesting.
Crimson Strait.
Interesting.
So I guess quick thoughts on Crimson Strait.
I mean, it's a side that you definitely want to play. It's a map you definitely want to choose a certain side on, depending on your strat. So, them picking Crimson first basically just means that they don't care what side they play on.
Yeah, that would indicate to me an island push.
Yeah.
Or
kinda
they feel
inventory.
that they're strongest on that map, regardless of the side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be. Vitric Station is map 2.
That's from Mech
Safe
and
pick
Joe's.
from
So.
Emmy. Yeah, that's a safe first pick.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, like you were saying, Bacon, too much which side you choose on Vitric.
Mining
Not as
Collective
much
is
as
3rd.
If you care about what was it, mining?
Mining, yes.
mining, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
And then we're going Hibernal and Polar if needed.
Looks like KDCM's picking some NSR maps.
Yep.
ME pick Team 2.
A Team 2 on Crimson.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder if they're going to put any mechs in the high in the mountain H4 or not. In anticipation of a KDCM push.
I would have thought. Well, I mean, I don't know which side I'd rather receive on for Crimson Strait.
There's positives and negatives to either side of it. Either side can sort of hide in on the island if they need to. We saw the nice strategy from KSG before where they baited Evans to like push over a theater on force and then they rotated around and jumped their trading mechs on Kappa. That was quite nice.
Yeah, I was made a mistake of chasing that wolf pack instead of turning around. What side is
Okay,
what side
so
did Emmy pick for?
yeah, Mechador is going to be Team 2 for Crimson Strait, and then they're
Really
going to be
interesting.
Team 1 for Vitric, Team 2 for Mining.
So I've got to switch the sides here, don't I? Because Carbon's currently on Team 1.
Yeah,
So we've
going
got
to be a
Crimson
fair bit of
Strait. I'll
switching here.
choose that. Yeah, that'll be
So
easy.
with Emmy taking Team 2 on the first drop, it basically really shows that they're expecting a push and they're taking the side that has the safest to receive angles.
Yeah. So that's done. That's the map ban done, correct?
Yeah, so what I've got is KDCM Team 1 to start off, and then switch to Team 2 for Vitric, and then it's KDCM on Team 1 for Mining, Hibernal, and Polar. So a little bit of switching here, but not bad.
Yep. I'll start up the timer in game.
All right. So Crimson Strait, I'm going to put up the map strat, I guess, here. We've got KDCM on the Team 1 side. Throw that up. All right.
So for Emmy, I really expect them to truthfully expect Emmy to have a mech that comes up here, something like this on the top of this ridge.
Yeah, Blood Asp or something.
They'll probably have an assault here, and then probably like an assault here or here. That's how I like to play it, and really just have amazing angles on this whole area. You're just gonna shut this whole area down here.
I'd be anticipating some light mech action toward the saddle. even if it's just to get a scout instead of going for theta. But good area to get a scout or find an angle for theta if you do want to risk it.
Honestly, with how defensible Team 2 is, it might be better if you want to push to like maybe come like this and go over the top, because there's only really one mech that can shoot you the whole time.
Okay. So basically trying to cut off the angle from the high mech, anticipating a high mech by using
Well, 'cause
cover and then staying out of line of sight.
Because if you push like this into this area, you're gonna have three assaults that can shoot you, right?
Yeah.
And if you come like this, you're still gonna have three assaults that can shoot you. It's either that or maybe they go like here and they rest in Delta 6 and they go for a 3 cap and just wait ME out. If they have a bigger wolf pack, they could just you could end up seeing a really big fight in this area here, where Emmy will have mechs that will push over this and come in and fight, something like that, and then you're gonna end up having basically a match deciding fight will occur in that area. If Emmy notices they're not being NS hard and push, then I would imagine that's where the fight occurs in Echo 7.
I'm trying to think back through all the different comp matches I've watched this fall, and all the times I've seen KDCM, their main team at least, the Q Dodgers playing on Crimson Strait, I don't know if I've ever seen them play on Team 1 side. I've seen them on Team 2 a couple of times, and they've done a few different styles of pushes or semi-pushes, but I don't know if I've ever seen them play the Team 1 side. So I wonder if they've got something going on here that's a little bit different.
I don't know. I don't really expect them to play standard per se. I expect them to play more of a cap strat. But KDCM can really do anything.
They're locked full Alpha
strat.
Bravo.
Okay, Alpha Bravo. Yeah, spawns are
so that's
kind of stacked.
nothing in Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie, you would see if they were going for Theta. Potentially a mech or two put in there. Doesn't make a big difference though.
It's a minute difference, but there is a difference.
You know, I don't know if I've seen a team during this championship series do a push through either the tunnel or this platform. I've seen a push to the island and then jumping up over the wall. But that's something that, you know, a team like Mech Enjoyers would definitely scout. They're going to have a mech looking that way that's going to spot it, or they won't just push the island without that scout. They're definitely going to be aware of the possibility of getting brawl push on the island. I don't expect that Mech Enjoyers will go to the island initially, at least.
Well, it's too a brawl, like a push through Echo 5 or Fox 5 is too easily rotated on. Like the Team 2 just needs to rotate to the island while they shoot and there's no cover.
Yeah.
Sort of why you don't often see it.
I think behind the island is the most likely push option here from KDCM from what I've seen from them. But
looks like ME are almost locked.
Yeah, we've got Team 1 locked in. I'm just gonna flip screens here then. I guess I'm going to run through the format in case anyone just stumbled across this channel today, right now. We're playing Mech Warrior Online. It's the Championship Series 2023. These teams have all qualified in through various different methods. KDCM got an invitational and picked up a win there in the invitational match and therefore qualified as the third seed. And Mech Enjoyers, they qualified through the comp queue. The format is 8v8. It's a 5-cap conquest on the map, 480 tons for the team. No duplicates of a specific chassis, no more than 3 of a single weight category. And they're also dealing with a 480-ton limit, which is both teams are 480. Both teams are locked, so ready to go whenever.
Yeah, let's do it. We should be able to tell relatively quickly if they're going to push or not based on their mechs and their loadouts.
Yeah, you should be able to know with
Probably.
in use.
KDCM has been brawling with hybrid loadouts to an extent. The quad ear large executioner is one of them. And last time they did bring an ER large blood asp with the rest of their team that was more mid-range as a fire support element. So typically there's going to be one or two mechs that are pretty indicative of their strategy.
Waiting for the dropships now.
All right, here they come. I'm going to be looking at KDCM's mechs in the blue.
Okay, I'll look at red. Mech enjoyers.
We've got a
Let's have a look.
Piranha, the Hero, the Cypher. So ER Micro Standard Machine Gun, Mislinks. Mislinks is machine gun, mixed machine gun, heavy meads as well. Viper with heavy machine gun. Crusader, ER PPC small lasers. Now these are going to be Marauder is quad ER large with mead pulse backup. They brought that last week. Rancor Blood Asp is ER large, small pulse backup. ER large and micros on the Executioner, quad ER large, and then the Hellfire Void is Hag 30 and 2 large pulse, so very mid-range DPS.
Yeah, we've got very similar from ME. Got a Marauder 2 CD with Hag 30s and ER large. That's probably the longest range mech. And then there's another one up the top, which is just a 4ER large
Novacat.
Novacat. So that's obviously only 4ER large on that. So that's a huge TC it's got on.
It's got a
max
set of
TC.
8 quirk as well.
Yeah, and then it's a small pulse, micros, large pulse executioner, and a nice mech. It's a skull with one LBX20, two ER PPCs, and one SRM6. So an interesting little build there. And the rest is pretty typical DPS sort of Wolfpack type of mechs.
What's going on with that single SRM6 Artemis on that Skull Orion? Like, does it only have one missile hardpoint, or what would lead to that being a build?
That would just be simply for the extra DPS. I mean, it's got a lot of tonnage to work with, so you can just add it on. I don't think it has anything in particular.
Kind of just setting up to trade right now.
It does, like as you said, it only has one missile hardpoint, and it's also got 25% missile cooldown on that hardpoint.
Okay.
So that does add a fair bit of DPS.
So it's not a push. They are trading from behind the island, 2 mechs behind the island, a couple mechs over taking island positions, just getting up there now. And they're stretching.
Fearing's getting a lot of fire.
Yeah, just stretching the firing line here for KDCM with the Crusader over by the lower platform. But this is a 3 cap against KDCM, so they need to make something happen at some point.
They have a lot more range, KDCM. They've got 4 long-range trader mechs compared to really only 2.
They do have some time to
technically,
whittle.
I mean, they're Orion with 2 ER PPCs, but that's a very, it's not very strong long-range trader.
Yeah, there is time to whittle the opponents down with a 2 cap to a 3 deficit, but not too much time. Seeing a little bit of movement
got a couple
here
of minutes
behind the boat. Crusader kind of creeping up.
Yeah, and he's got red armor. He hasn't been opened up yet, but he's certainly taking a lot of fire. He's trading 2v1 at the moment.
Yeah.
And Zelnaga's leg is red armor, but again, not that injured. So KDCM definitely winning that one. He was shooting their legs initially because he was anticipating that push.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously we know they're not full pushing right now. So
Fearing's the only player who is down in percentages significantly here. Nothing's open yet, but 63% indicates not a lot of armor remaining. Over on
he's
KDCM,
orangey and red armor.
Yeah, there's only 80% is the lowest percentage. And Novacat is now taking a lot of damage. I'm wondering, Novacat's an unusual pick. It has low arm mounts and fairly wide as well. It requires a full exposure. It's the type of mech that can do quite well when nothing's shooting back, but in a rage trade situation like this, it's maybe not
Yeah,
something they'd want.
I think ME was anticipating the full push because
Yep.
that's really like that's a DPS long range trader they've put up there. It's got 25% cooldown as the set of 8.
KDCM's
So
making
he's
a move
no.
here
Oh, here they
on the
go. Yeah,
platform side. They are getting
really
into close
squeezing them.
range.
Oh, Jay's leg almost legged. It's going to be legged very
Leading the
coolly.
way here. Now, the mechs from Mech and Jars are
He's
going to have
legged.
cover in the city, whereas this is now like a 3-on-5 type engagement here, or 4-on-6 perhaps. 2 mechs going down on the side of KDCM.
Straight away, yeah, it's not a very good engagement for KDCM.
Rana's distracting a whole bunch of mechs, but the mechs from the
It'll be
island are
legged very
making a
quickly.
push out as well, getting that cross. Only one mech has gone down on the side of Mechanjars. It's a spider. Unfearing's taking significant damage here. Should be going down soon.
Yeah, but
Gets cored
yeah,
out.
KDCM lost their entire wolf pack, so it's pretty much good game from this point on.
Likely. Executioner from
unless ME
Snack,
really
both legs
flip.
are open. The Viper probably can solo the Executioner at this point. Viper comes in for the cleanup. And Black Lantern's pushing the mech on the island. Marauder 2. Yeah.
Hellfire's legged. Yep.
They try to find a push angle. Just the cover in the city. Mechanjar is playing it very, very patient. And patience being rewarded.
Yeah, I don't think KDCM needed to push. Like, they'd sort of taken over the saddle at that point. They could have just sent a mech to cap Theta and just used and kept their range advantage, right?
Yes and no. They didn't. I don't know. It could have been an option for them.
Let's have a look. And look, 3 of their mechs double D'ing. That wolf pack just ran in and just got picked one by one very easily. I mean, they made it into to Fox 5 relatively unscathed, their wolf pack, because ME had dropped back. So at that stage, they could have just sent the Piranha to get Theta and just held.
Yeah. I mean, they
Yeah.
weren't really facing a counter push potential.
No.
Not with the positioning
And
where things were at.
We'll get Bacon to have his input. Mr. Bacon, you there?
Is there?
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. My thoughts are that when Emmy basically had this part of the map here, this Marauder that was in that location had to back off. He basically backed off to here because he was pretty messed up. But by that point, Emmy had traders here, here, here. They had some Wolfpack mechs there. And at that point, I would have just sent a mech just to go cap Theta. It'd make them push into you, like, because Carbon up here was kind of messed up. I know the Marauder down here was messed up. There was no reason to do this big push. And then when they did it, it just kind of was like Jay just kind of went by himself over here and got legged and died. Yeah. And then, mind you, the Wolfpack ran in, and the traders still weren't like really pushed up.
I mean,
and then
I think
top of that, they literally pushed into the city area,
yeah,
where the ME traders were able to shoot down. And on top of that, they didn't have cover from their own traders. So realistically, I don't know if the play from KDCM was to stick with Jay, because Jay made this push, right?
Yeah. And
Except the rest of his mechs went in like this.
The Crusader's the obvious target there, where it's easy to shoot at. It's a large mech, and like as opposed to like a Viper or Mistlings, it can't hide.
Yeah, but if the rest of the KDCM Wolfpack had stayed with Jay on the shoreline, they would have been able to have help from their assault mechs when the light mechs jumped in. And they weren't there. They just kind of had like 3 pushes happen at the same time, and it was just...
Yeah, KDCM's traders, range traders, seem to be succeeding at winning their trades. The decision to brawl in the city, it takes you out of your Overwatch. Your Overwatch can't see past the building, so that's where it turned into 3-on-5 or 4v6 or whatever it was. I don't think either the Novacat or the Marauder 2C were really able to participate in that city fight because the 4mechs from the island had whittled them down so well and were continuing to put fire on the Novacat. But brawling, that's the thing, like whenever you have a wolf pack, you need to keep on reining them in so they don't brawl where the Overwatch can't see. And
Yeah, well, I mean, KDCM won the drop deck battle.
yeah,
Emmy had obviously picked, a pretty heavy anti-rush deck, and KDCM didn't rush, or at least the deck wasn't designed to do that.
yeah.
So in that regard, they were winning. That's why I was sort of thinking it was odd that they fully pushed in, as you were saying, to Kappa, because they could have just squeezed them into the bottom of the map and then just
Yeah.
taken Fader anyway and just sat there.
I think it was the
Made
same
ME push.
drop deck KDCM brought this week as they did last week. It's a hybrid drop deck where you could brawl with it, but you don't have to. They have the option. But in this case, I think they needed to keep playing that option and not make that push. I'm going to move us on to Vidric. We've maybe got a few minutes to talk about Vidric.
Yeah, Team 1 just locked, so depending on how fast KDCM ready up. Vidric is a very simple map though, really. Very straightforward type of arena map.
Yeah, seen a little bit of variance out of it as of late. Earlier, was Casterian Guards are playing an alternate strategy here where they didn't take the top ramps. They went and played off on the side. Didn't work out, but it didn't look awful either. So there's a chance, I would suppose. I think it's also something Equilibrium's kind of done a little bit as well, playing more toward the side as opposed to just here on the ramp. Now, against KDCM, where it's still anticipated they're going to make a push here, Beckenjor's from their setup in the previous map.
They
I definitely
have to
think
play. They have to respect the push and bring
Yeah.
a deck that's receive capable against a team that's known for pushing.
Yeah.
Even if they don't push, you have to respect that. And that's a chip that KDCM is always going to have. So for ME, they basically have to put assaults in the back of the map here, or possibly even like up here or up here, in order to cover the push. For KDCM, they have done a couple different pushes. They've done the push where you come like this and you go up the ramp and you go in. They've done the push where you go over the ramp. They've done the push where you go over the ramp and you come up from below and you fly up. So there's a lot of different ways. They've been doing, like you said, these sort of mixed pushes where they will like feign a push and they'll come up really close and they'll take all these really close angles, and they'll skirmish. And they'll skirmish for a little bit and then they push. So it just depends. I think KDCM has the advantage that they kind of get to decide how the matches are going to be played, and ME has to be in a more reactionary role because they're kind of forced to bring.
That's
You have to respect the push.
That's very much a point here, is that when you dedicate yourself to playing a received drop deck, you allow your opponents to dictate how the match is going to be played. If you run that pure AC2 DACA type thing, and you set up for the push, like your opponents don't push, then you have to make the push or whatever. But you're basically conceding the initiative when you're with your drop deck and your initial movement. So I guess how much Mech and George is going to be adapted for a push on this map, it would be one of the questions. What about the Blood Asp? I'm going to ask about that. You saw that earlier, right? For anyone who's unaware, there was a Blood Asp.
Has kind of crazy quirks or whatever on some of the components where it can fly like 90 meters, I think is what it is. And 90 meters is a lot for an assault mech.
Yeah.
That has insane mounts. So you have teams that are experimenting with where can I put a Blood Asp that can fly 90 meters, and one of the locations just happens to be this area on top. You can get it up there. On Vidric, on Crimson, pretty much all of the mountains and the volcanoes, you can put a Blood Asp up there because it has insane quirks and can fly super hard.
Yep. All right, we're launching up. Both.
All right.
Let's go.
I don't expect to see the Blood Asp, but worth bringing up.
I might say the Blood Ass. I wouldn't expect to see one that can fly on top of the high points. You can put a Blood Ass on one of the side corners where they are large.
Now that everyone's aware of that Blood Asp, though, is that something that teams are going to be prepping for? Be a question to ask going forward.
I wouldn't think so. I don't think you need to specifically prepare for that. As long as you can have some mechs that can shoot up there, it should be okay. Okay, let's have a look. KDCM side, we have Executioner. Where is the Executioner? See if he's a full push boy. Yep, push Executioner. Laser Vomit, Marauder 2C. Mislinks is going to be classic Mislinks, I'm guessing. Yeah, heavy machine gun. Got a Dervish with SRMs and small lasers. 14 small laser Crusader, so yeah, it's full push. Full giga push from KDCM. Yeah, heavy machine gun, Viper.
Crusader, Dervish definitely indicate that.
X-Pulse Spider.
They do have that Spider that might be going for back caps, maybe. See what they do
or
with
just gonna jump up and hit the flank of something that's sitting in the back. Yeah, then they got a Warhammer 2C with just 2 Hag 40s, and it's got some pretty nice quirks on that.
Yeah, so
Let's have a
Broiler
look.
here, Supernova Hero, Hag 30s, large pulse out of Carbon Fire. That Highlander 2C that they like with the triple large pulse,
Take a
LBX
peek on
20.
Kappa.
We have a fight on.
Yep, Kappa.
Oh,
Yeah,
there,
it's just
there we go.
the Mislinks and Spider. Yeah, just having a little brawl. But it looks like the ME mechs are going to try and
Spider's
jump
coming
the
in.
Spider.
Yeah, Shoney's is going to be in trouble here. Don't know if they can make it out. Flag is open yellow already.
Yeah, but KDCM are going to take this opportunity and just push over the top on them. Look, they're jumping up, the Crusader and the Dervish. And they've got the gank on the Xe in the back of the map. They're going for the legs.
The Bucks is the primary target, already legged in that Highlander 2C, doing good job of shielding. They are being forced to drop. Now in the back, Mislink's Viper, I guess, jumped up here and going after the ranged elements. Supernova is being targeted. There's already a dead mech. That's Unfearing's Executioner. It's already down. Supernova is almost legged. It's taking a while here. One of the Mislinks dropped down accidentally, I take it.
Carbon Fiber is almost legged as well.
No,
He's almost legged.
They're taking a little bit too long here to get the kills on that Supernova.
They got him. They're going to get the Viper next as well.
Yeah, Viper's lagged from Chol.
Pretty close.
Won their fight, but the Mislinks is running out and the Viper cannot follow.
Highlander's legged down low as well.
Yep. Oh, the legs on Call Me Gil are both one touch.
Self-destruct from the Shadowcat. Probably masked to death or perhaps overheated. Hard to say. And Sneck in that Executioner, 43%, but only the center torso, side torso open. Still has a lot of fight left in it.
Torso's getting destroyed.
32%. Lost most of their weapons, though, getting crit out. Fighter's legged here from Villain.
The Mislinks is one touch. Yep, got down.
So what's left? It's a Dervish with 2 legs versus a 2-legged mechs. Both the Viper and the Spider are legged. So the Dervish could
carry. Yeah,
play for a caps here. It would take a while, but don't engage on the 2 of them.
Accurate.
Separate up and string them out using their the caps to force these leg mechs to not be together and then win the 1v1s. That would be probably a winning play here.
I don't think that any of them have any. One Med-X Pulse is the longest range from Villain.
Okay, so that's what, 320 meter optimal before quirks or
something?
something?
Tawaz has no Artemis on those SRM6, so he's going to be moving very fast. Let me see. I'll get in his...
His best bet is to cap, though. Because if they split up to deny caps or to get caps...
He's got 102.
1v1.
Yeah.
102 KPH, yeah.
Yeah, just don't take the 2v1 in the Dervish, and it should be a win for KDCM. It would basically be a throw at this point to for KDCM not to get the win. What does the ammunition on the Dervish look like? I guess that's one question.
Let me see. It's almost out. 36 missiles.
Okay, so that's 6 volleys. 4 small lasers is a decent amount of
2
backup.
shots. He's got 2.25 shots
Yeah,
left.
it's
Right.
not. It's not even.
Bad math there. My apology. Yeah, so probably doesn't want to get in a fight, but should be able to run this out on caps. There is going to
He's
be a
got one
fight
and a half.
here.
One and a half
One
shots
and a
left.
half.
Yeah, all of you are making correct maths.
So the Spider is moving correctly to intercept the Dervish. The Viper is moving to assist. Although they can't wait too long. They haven't spotted the Dervish, so they don't know. Okay, Viper should be seeing the Dervish here shortly, but it's not going to be able to participate in the fight. It's going to be a 1v1.
Gonna kill this fight.
The
He's
Spider's
gonna
got that
kill that.
medium X pulse though, and the
Oh
Dervish is
no.
almost legged.
Nah, he's gonna get legged. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is not a win the Dervish can take. It doesn't have the ammo for this fight. No. Going back in,
He's
legged.
done.
Yeah.
He's gonna go into that spider before the Viper gets there.
Was I incorrect that this is a theoretical win for KDCM? I guess ammunition count, but
Yeah, but then there's always the fallacy of trying to shoot the leg mech that's perfectly leg shielding when you should just CT it.
yeah.
No, that wouldn't have helped either. He just needed to not take that fight at all. He needed to run away from that. That was the correct play.
They were going for the one cap that they were able to go for. They already had the 3 other outside caps. Theta was presumed guarded, but could have just sat back and ran caps instead of going in for the engage. I would definitely agree on that situation. So this is going to be a Mech Enjoyer's win.
He could have like just when he saw them there, just ran back full cap Sigma and then just started to run around the rest of the map because they wouldn't have been able to make it to
Yeah.
like any of the caps at that point. He would
Yeah.
have played it out too fast and they would have won with just the 3 caps. Because those legged mechs can only ever be on 2 caps defending like 1 cap each at a time. So
Yeah.
you could have always had 3 caps no matter what. So he's just misplayed that at the end there.
And those Dervish legs got opened up much faster than what I was anticipating. I guess there was less armor than I thought, and the structure goes
They're
very
also just
fast.
huge, so like the full DPS of any mech shooting it just always hits it, right?
Yeah.
And the Spider does have 4 heavy machine guns and 1 medium X pulse. Like that's quite a bit of DPS.
Yep, much closer match though. Make sense out of that. Okay. I'll set up the rest of the lobbies.
So popping up the stats on the screen here real quick. Other than Shoney's getting picked there, damage numbers look okay. I just think it took too long for KDCM to get the 2 kills on the Supernova and the Executioner. They had a Viper and a Mistlings up there, and it felt Shoney's didn't go down right away, so KDCM had that window to push, but it just took too long to pick up the kills.
I mean, you say he got picked, but in the process of him going for that side cap, that could have been part of their strat to like trigger a response from their whole wolf pack, and then once the wolf pack has been noted of going for that one side capper, oh, it's a free kill, let's get it. That's when KDCM pushed over the top, and they basically get an engage with a lot less mech resistance in exchange for 30 tons.
Yeah. Yeah, they just didn't manage to capitalize on it. Just the kills took a little bit too long. All right, so pop up the map room here. Guess we get it brought out a little bit. A little bit wipe out on that. So 2 mechs from Mech Enjoyers sat back a little bit, kind of a bit far back, and then a few more further up. And basically the one thing that we're talking about here with Shoney's is the Spider going for the Kappa, pulling back, wolf pack dropping down, chasing after them, and then push from KDCM at the same time. There was a jump up that I did not catch on my monitor here. I assume it was a jump up though of the Mistling's Viper coming up, going through the tunnel underneath the Citadel to jump on the assaults over in Charlie 2, and ultimately just fight really close. Theoretical win for KDCM, but on caps, but they just didn't manage to pull it off. Ended up losing a 1v1 with a almost out of ammo dervish versus against a spider, a legged spider that was otherwise relatively healthy. Okay, next map up, we're going to Mining Collective. Any particular, I mean, stats we know it's likely to be Brawl.
Well,
want to
not
talk about,
necessarily. I mean, KDCM didn't bring Brawl on the first drop. They just happened to push
Yeah.
in. So I wouldn't say it's just going to be Brawl. I feel like that's not fully correct. I'd fully expect Emmy to have a mech like here. They'll probably have another trader somewhere in this area. And they're going to be set up to receive because, again, they have to respect that. So if I was KDCM and I knew that Emmy was going to be ready for my push, I would bring like a full standard deck and I would have a better deck than them. And you would outtrade them. Kind of like on the first drop, except I would just not push in.
Yeah.
So.
Sure. The reason I'm assuming it was Brawl is that I think that's all I've seen KDCM do on this map so far in both invitationals and in their matches so far. I think they've been bringing things like the SRM Catapult, SRM Dervish, SRM Summer, that type of thing. Although I might be getting that mixed up. And I believe they were just brawling over the Echo 4 high ground location, kind of less. A bit of some other stuff that they've been doing as well, but that was more on the Team 2 side. So that's why I'm kind of assuming it's going to be more of a straightforward brawl as opposed to like a hybrid brawl drop deck, but they might shake things up, or they might, I could be misremembering things as well.
They're about to get
Either
I looked at it.
Expect them to play stand, or I expect them to basically bring a hybrid deck and fight over this area heavily.
Alright, just waiting for Mech Endurers to lock up. I'm going to go ahead and...
They're all green, just waiting for them to lock.
Yeah, so Mech Endurers is probably not going to commit to a receive deck, I would guess. They're going to take more standard here on this map, but...
Yeah, mixed.
One thing that they could do is they could take a mech to the Echo 6 high ground location behind the Charlie spawn. As they do have the Team 2 side, they could set a ranged mech up over there if they are concerned about being brawled at all.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of that. You said how much time? I said 2 mins and he said locked. Like... Alright, let's launch it.
Alright, yep.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of the back of the wall strat, have we?
It's been used a couple of times. I think 2 or 3 times already this tournament, maybe a little bit more, but yeah, it's not really in favor at the moment.
Yeah, well, I suppose more so not that we haven't seen it, but that I haven't seen it being super impactful.
Yes, that I would agree with.
Yeah.
A few times I've seen it has not been very
sort of just hung out there and then sudden haven't really done a great deal.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
Wait for these drop ships to come in. I'm over at KDCM again, so let's have a look. What do they got? The Wars is still in that dervish. Is it the same one? It is the same Dervish. Jay's an assassin with SRMs. ERPPC small laser Crusader. Heavy machine gun Viper. ERPPC micros Executioner. SRM Summoner. Heavy large laser, large pulse, Marauder 2C. So it's a very aggressive deck again.
Yeah, so both the Dervish and the Crusader had snub nose PCs or sorry, not the Crusader, Phoenix Hawk, and Crusader is ERPPC. But yeah, they've got snub nose PPC on the Dervish, and they brought a Rifleman 2C with Gauss ER large, so that is their back receive mech. They're running that same Highlander with a triple large pulse
That's a
LBX-20.
favorite of Carbon Fire, that Rifleman.
Okay,
He loves
I
that.
know him more for the Corsair. Executioner is mid-range vomit, so they're kind of playing a little bit of mid-range with some long-range receive.
They've got an LB-20, 3 large pulse, 3 SRM-6 Artemis,
Yeah.
Highlander 2C, Bucks.
I think they've taken that every drop, it feels like. Their pick for the tournament that nobody else seems to be running yet.
At the moment, it looks like they've immediately rotated to a north-south sort of approach. I presume Dreadnought over here is going to go get Epsiaries.
Giggity's leg is open in that Crusader already. 85%,
Ouch.
but that leg open yellow. Marauder 2C with a very high alpha build, but it needs to get
He's got
into
peeps though.
mid-range.
He's got AR peeps, so he can still be useful even if he gets legged.
Yeah, that's more of a hybrid trader. KDCM's just stacking up here. They haven't even taken their back cap Epsilon. They had a mech in the vicinity, but pulled off of it, I guess. Stacked up for something on Theta.
He uncapped it, but he didn't cap it. Strangely enough,
there's a 3 cap to 1, and they're all in a single grid square right now.
Yeah, they're if he didn't cap it, they're obviously just going to get set up just to push them. And that'll be that.
I don't see a push direction though. Like they're not going to go over the tabletop.
I think they're going to split.
Okay.
Split push.
We have a little bit of a push here on the left. Or
I'm worried about these ones on the Mistlinks, the Assassin, and the Viper. Oh, they look like they're getting in.
Yeah, it's a split push. They're sending 3 for the Rifleman, it looks like. And then the rest of their main is advancing, but this is timing needs to be good on this. So far, I'm not seeing it.
See, even here, if they had just taken Epsilon right now, they're not that injured. They could have just taken Theta and just held.
They have map control now. They've backed Mechanjor's up into a corner. They could go and switch for the caps right now instead of committing to this push.
Zell in that Mislink's almost got backshot by something back there. Looks like they're going to commit to the push. The Dervish is going to get injured there. He's way too exposed.
Percentages looking reasonable for both sides, although KDCM has the lower percentages, loses the first mech. And they haven't decided whether they're going in or not, kind of just peeking back and forth. Assassin's leg from Jay. The main body's here. Now they're making the push, but they're down a couple of mechs already. Summoner's down as well.
And the Highlander. Yeah, it's looking... Is anyone going to focus better? It looks like KDCM are just dropping too many mechs.
Yeah, Executioner leg from Sneck. Going to go down in a second.
Crusader's halved.
And basically
the Viper's going to go down.
Yeah, the push never even came together.
No.
Crusader's halved for Direwolf.
It would have been... They could have literally 4-capped them at one point then.
Yeah.
They could have caught Kappa and Theta, and they would have had Epsi. Like it would have been quite a nice contain. Fortunately, they sort of semi-stalled and then did a failed push. They didn't even end up getting that Direwolf in that Crusader.
That's the game. That's the match actually here.
Yep,
quick 3-0.
And that's KDCM coming in 7th place for the 3rd year in a row. They've come in 7th place for 21 and 22.
So KDCM, that's not exactly the showing I was expecting from them. I heard rumors of a vacation. Are they by chance distracted right now?
Yeah, I don't think that they prepared very vigorously for this match, if I was to guess. And yes, I did hear that they've got some things. I do know Yeah, if I think from memory they were going to be fine for the 4th of November, but I think they've got something planned for the 11th. So they've sort of capped at their progression in a way, anyway.
Okay. Well,
But
I guess we
yeah,
can run
good.
down. You know, I- it's just a push that didn't really happen. It wasn't quite coordinated perfectly. The angle wasn't correct, and then they didn't fully commit to it either. There was some hesitation on the front lines taking damage before the back lines were really there to make the push.
Yeah, I would have loved a push and then sort of a fake out into the 4 cap. That'd have been made it a bit more interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Once they had the advance completed, they had the map control. They could have switched it over to cap game, but it is what it is. Quick 3-0. So KDCM, thanks for playing. You're out of the tournament, and Mech Enjoyers is advancing to play the 5th Jaguars group in the 3rd round of the losers bracket. So
Yeah, that'll be
things are
next week, won't it? Next weekend. It'll be Castarians Guards versus Dark Sea Corsairs.
yes,
And then there'll be 5th Jaguar Dragoons versus Mech and Joys. I think both of those matches should be good matches to watch. Looking forward to watching them.
yep. Matches today are quite good as well overall, and I'm looking forward to catching the remainder of this tournament.
Yeah, we sort of had two close matches and 2 not so close matches this weekend. But we're getting towards the tail end now, so it's going to start to be. Well, next weekend is only 2 matches. Then the weekend after there's only 2, and then the last 2 weeks there'll only be 1. But hopefully they'll get more intense as they go along. That's the hope, at least, for all our viewers out there.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Thrax, for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Kraz, for stepping in to assist with the cast here, and also for Bacon Lord showing up on the expert panel here for us. This is the cast for today. The last of the matches today. Hit a follow on the channel for anyone who hasn't already, and you can catch the VODs over on Twitch or on YouTube. For anyone who's maybe missed something, wants to catch up or pick apart a team strategy and see if they can figure out a way to do better. Thank you, viewers, for showing up, and that's it. I'm going to be wrapping up the stream here. Catch everyone else back in about a week, probably. I think I'm on next week. I'll have to check. But GG's.